Hello, friends. Home Queen Bee here. So, this day, which isn't actually today, but that's okay. We are just doing a once over on the kitchen. So, pretty much everything has stayed pretty clean. Probably because the adult kiddo is working a lot and hubby's back to work every other week. So, that has created less of a mess around the house. But this counter oven slash air fryer slash amazing machine is a hot mess. And so I take a minute to clean it up because it is used a lot for various things, but mostly for the adult kiddos' toasted sandwiches and toast. So it's a lot of bread and crumbs. And cheese, melted cheese, always melted cheese. This day, though, we are just going to do a once over on the kitchen because hubby is making me dinner. He is making pola alla crema, y'all, and I have never made it myself. I do 99% of the cooking, but he knows that I love pola alla crema because I always order it whenever we go to Mexican restaurants. And so he found a recipe and he makes it for me on occasion. So it's really nice to get a dish that I like that I don't have to make. And so that's his thing. He makes pola crema. So today is that day. I am going to clean up the kitchen and make sure it is all cleaned up and straightened away and tidied because he can be a disaster in the kitchen, y'all. It's like a little Tasmanian devil. And there will be things splattered in places they should not be. And I don't even know how he does it, but he does. But I love the food and I love that I don't have to cook. So y'all, I take a little bit of time and I clean up the kitchen ahead of time. And then while he's in there, I do kind of clean as he's going to, kind of around him. And then I clean up after him when he's done. But y'all, we just tackle just the random things that are left, like little mice just dropping stuff here and there. And I am guilty of it this go around too, because I have had a lot of meetings and a lot of events and a lot of things outside of the home where I come back into the home and I set stuff down and I'm like, yeah, I'll take that to my office later, or I'll put that in the candy dish later, or I'll. And then I get tired and I get busy and life happens. So today, just a quick once over in the kitchen. And y'all, so I'm washing the pet food containers and I want to say, so I've been making pet food for the cat and the dog. And right now I'm out of pre-made pet food for them. But because hubby is cooking up chicken, I take the scraps that he takes off of the chicken and I put it in the air fryer and I bake it by itself separate. So there's no seasonings or anything on it. And that day, I take the chicken and I take some carrot strings and I just use scissors and I snip them up and put in some wet food as well as a little bit of chicken stock and mix that up for the dog. And then the cat gets the chicken, the wet food, and the chicken stock, no carrots, and mix that up for the cat. So, and then they had a little bit of dry food in their bowl overnight just to tide them over. But that usually is it, y'all. Like, it doesn't have to be super complicated to do like a whole thing for food. If you have scraps that are not seasoned, they're amazing for pets usually. So there's lists you can check online to see what's okay to feed pets and what's not. But y'all, a lot of people do really bad things like give their dogs pizza crust, or I even found that my kiddo was feeding my dog grapes. It was like, it's toxic for them. Do not feed that to them. But he just didn't know. He thought, well, grapes are healthy, right? No, not everything that you would think is healthy is good for animals. So just check the list. But definitely no garlic, no pepper, none of that. So just leave the seasonings off, and then you can feed them pretty much most people food. So we finish up and we clear off the counter. We get out of hubby's way a little bit because he starts dinner. And we clear off the counter. And y'all, I am also dehydrating my basil and my Thai basil because my plants in my Euro garden went nuts. They were massive and the leaves were getting huge. And so I picked a ton and did one round in the dehydrator, and then and yes, I just sniffed that because it needed I put cinnamon bark essential oil in it. It makes the house smell amazing, and pulls all the dust out of the air. But anyway, it didn't smell like anything, so I smelled it. But when we finish cleaning up this table, we are going to pull the first round of basil, and I already have some in the food processor processing, getting diced up, and then we're gonna do the next. So I did the basil first, and then we'll do the Thai basil second, and then my Thai basil blew up the next day after I had thinned it down, and so I wound up having to pick more Thai basil and just a little bit more basil, and did another round after that. So wow, y'all, like I probably eventually will have full little containers, but yeah. So here's where I had kind of dropped a bunch of stuff, and I wind up, just organizing, putting it away, and straightening up, and then taking out my full recycling, and that has been nonstop. Like, I don't know what the deal is, but the garbage, I know I'm cleaning a lot as I go, which means that the garbage and the recycling get fuller faster, instead of like one big hole if I wait to clean. So yeah, I mean, I prefer it. I prefer to stay on top of the house and the cleaning and be able to just do like small tasks. And like what I have found now is I'm starting to set into a routine. But this right here, y'all, I have to clean the freaking dining room chairs every single day because of cat hair. It's crazy. But if I do a once over in my bathroom every 2 weeks, including the shower, the toilet, it stays clean. And I don't get that mold buildup that I was constantly fighting before that was driving me insane. And that, y'all, has really been working well for me. And I'm kind of coming into my really busy time for work. So I'm trying to not have my work spread all over the house, because I work from home most of the time. So I just need to spend more time in my office because I kind of leave the office. I pull stuff out into the living room, and then I wind up, because it's more comfortable and I can remember, oh, I hear the washer and the dryer, and I can rotate and, whatever. But at the same time, sometimes I just need to sit down and focus on work. So I think I need to maybe take one day a week where I just go to my office and I just spend time in my office, and that's all I do. And then the rest of it I can kind of piecemeal. But so we started filling up our containers, y'all, and I'm so excited to be able to do this, and have the dehydrator and be able to save. Like normally that would have just all gone to waste before, but now I can throw it in the dehydrator and it's shelf stable, and I will have it when I move on to something else in my Euro garden, which I will do. So I want to do some different herbs. I want to do some cilantro and some other things. So I'm super excited to be able to do that right now and just be able to put everything into containers. So I'm going to continue doing that while the basil continues to produce. And then when it's done, I will pull everything and clean it and plant some new stuff. So I have a few other things growing in there that I really haven't used. Some parsley and some mint. They really didn't do that well. But boy, did those basil plants frickin' take off. I don't know if they just kind of choked them out or what, but those took off. So you're going to see here, y'all, to dehydrate herbs, I do 125 for 5 hours, and that worked out perfect, except for the tie that was at the top. I had to do that for an additional 30 minutes, but that's them. This is dinner. Thanks for watching.